Hello, today I'm going to talk about this book that's called The Ice Monster, and the author for this book is called David Walliams, and the illustrator for this book is called Tony Ross. And I'm going to read the text back here, then I'm going to talk about this book. And I just wanted to talk about this book is many pages, but now I'm going to read the text back here. London, 1899. This is the story of a 10-year-old orphan and a 10,000-year-old mammoth. And now I'm going to talk about this book. So it starts with it's a baby that has been born, and this mom and dad, or this family, didn't have many money, or they think if we put this baby in an orphanage, they're gonna live a better life than if we have this baby. So then they put this baby in the orphanage, and then this person that had this orphanage, it was called Wormley Halls, and this person that had this place, she was not very good. She was very bad. If you did something wrong or talked after you should sleep, she hit you many times, so you got very hurt. And this person, it was many people there, 25 people there that was at that place, and then these 25 babies, they think, what should we call this baby's name? And they think about Elsie, so they said Elsie. She was gonna, it was her name. So Elsie, she lived there. At last, she had gone so hurt, she gave up. She climbed out, out the window, and then she went out. So all out, so she went out the place and never came back. But she said to the people there, she said, I'm going to think of you all my life. So then so Elsie, she very much liked to go to a place that was called, it was like a museum. So then she went in there every day without anyone and nobody could see her going in and out. But one day, one person had found her, and she was called Dottie. And Dottie, orphan, so people that at that time there was like ranks. If you were very rich, you were at the top, and if you lived on the streets, you were like the down. And Elsie was down. So she could not go in that place, but she did it. So yeah, like she tried, so nobody could see her. But at last, Dottie found her, and Dottie didn't say to her, "You need to go out. You can never come back." She was very good, so she said, it's a person coming, be quiet. And so Dottie was very good to Elsie, and Elsie, one day she went there, she and Dottie, they went in to that place, and before that it had come a new thing to the museum, and it was a 10,000-year-old mammoth. So then they went, so then they wanted to look, and then they looked, but the other person, they heard the other person coming in, So then they ran and hide in a like closet. So then they somehow find a secret place in that, like in the room they had they were hiding. So somehow they found a secret place, and in that secret place it was a professor that was very like old, and he was almost everybody knew this professor. So then Dottie knew who this professor was, but not Elsie, because she is 10 years old, and this professor was he got like famous many years back, before Elsie even was born. So then this professor heard about that the mammoth had come, and he wanted that Dottie and Elsie is gonna help him, so then they can make the mammoth live again. I'm going to drink a little bit water. So then they got all the things they needed, and then they just did one thing, that there's gonna be a thunderbolt that went so right in the heart of the mammoth, and then a thunderbolt came and it went right into the heart of the mammoth, and the mammoth waked up, but the mammoth was in like very much ice. So then they like break the glass and the ice, and then the mammoth came out. So then now the journey like begins. Elsie, every day she's with the mammoth, so she's every day now with the mammoth, and every day the mammoth looks like out of the window into the north. So then Elsie one day thinked, what is he looking at? So then she looked at the map, north, and at last she saw the destination, that where the mammoth wanted to go, and that was the North Pole. So then Elsie liked this mammoth very much, so she wanted to bring the mammoth to the North Pole, and they get attacked. So Elsie begins her journey on a boat, and there's many other people helping her. So they went on a boat, and they took the mammoth, and they ride it. They get attacked. It's a storm that is happening, and about that storm, the mammoth, when they were attacked, this person that attacked them like shot the mammoth, so the mammoth started bleeding, and Elsie almost killed herself for the mammoth. So it was a storm when the mammoth was bleeding. So then Dottie made the bleeding stop, and then Elsie did, so she gets struck by lightning, and it goes right into the mammoth heart again, and the mammoth starts lives again, and the mammoth somehow wakens Elsie so that she lives again, just like that, just almost like he could magic, just wake up, something like that. But then they went to the North Pole, and the mammoth had found her family, and they called the mammoth Wooly, so I'm going to say Wooly. So Wooly had found her family at last, and Wooly wanted them to stay, but they could not, like it was so cold at the North Pole. So then they needed to go home, and this time they're going in the boat again, just without the mammoth. And when they come to London again, they need to go to the Queen, and the Queen talks with them and talks, and at last she gives all the people on the that was on the boat a prize, and Elsie is gonna live with the Queen and her friends at that orphanage. They're also going to live with the Queen. And that was all for this book that was called The Ice Monster. And this book is so good, so interesting. I recommend it very, very much. It's so, so fun. And my best character for this book is Elsie and Dottie. And my next book is an English book. And bye-bye!